When did you get into it?
I'm just saying.
Podcasting?
Yeah.
Like
that, even the idea, like, when did it, like, come to you first?
I started off like, there's a media attack on Muslims, and all the Muslims around me are embarrassed of being Muslim. I'm embarrassed of being Muslim. What's going on here? And I was like, dude, there needs to be somebody to speak up for us, or someone that we can, because especially like when my friend passed away, I was like, bro, him and I struggled with our identity, struggled with being Muslim so much. It was very difficult for us. And when he passed away, I was like, I don't want anyone else, any Muslim growing up, having to deal with this either. Having to deal with the fear of saying your name.
So you're saying like he died too young?
What was his name, if you don't mind me asking?
Noor.
Yeah. Did he go to like Howard County School?
Yeah. He went to Atherton. Yeah, I grew up with him, and it was difficult,
For my dead homies, I'm about to.
Like I knew him since I was 4, and he was 5, and I grew up with him since. So it was a pretty huge loss. It was the biggest loss in my life, and that actually like really changed how I viewed this podcast and viewed where I wanted it to go. And I just think like kids that are 13 and up, they really need someone to be able to, because just like I was saying, like so many celebrities are, I was dying to find online or find a celebrity or find someone to go, I'm Muslim and I'm proud, like here I am, I'm successful, I'm American and I'm Muslim, and they're accepting me because I'm proud. Khabib, but Khabib's new and it's awesome.
No, dude, I'm like, every girl I talk to that is like, oh, you look like Zayn. You look like Zayn.
Oh, and Zayn.
You look like Zayn. But it's probably because he's the only Muslim you can think of.
You do kind of look like Zayn.
Oh,
yeah.
Shut
like,
the hell up.
He's like, stop me, God.
No, but I hate it. See, now I'm...
Especially if you, like, when you were, like, babyface back in the day.
Yeah.
You look just like him.
I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying, and there's, like, such a clash of culture, like... It's just, like, we're all just lost out here, honestly. We need that, like... like, how there's, like, a culture with, like, everything else? Like, there just isn't with Muslim Americans.
I think...
Like, there isn't, like, oh, like, Muslim American, you think this or that. You just think of Muslims back to that country. Because we need, like, our own culture. We need our own, like, this is how Muslim Americans
This
act.
demographic of us is brand new.
Yeah.
That's why, like... When you were saying, like, oh, you're trying to, like the youth Afghan, kind of like the young, or not Afghans, excuse me, I'm thinking.
Muslim youth.
The Muslim youth kind of like, this is like the new generation. Like, there's a lot of us, people like us, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that...
And I find them all, like, low self-esteem or, like, shame. Identity crisis. They're, like, a lot of them are like that.
Yeah.
Very quiet, very unsure of themselves.
I can even tell
I was like that, you were like that.
I can even tell you the statistics.
Yeah.
It's 75 to 80%.
Pre-Jim Shabir.
I sucked. I was just in a shell and I think that's what I was saying. Like athletics and sports and everything, just like
that, like helped open you up.
Was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Yeah.
I was loud.
I remember that Shabir Fitness.
Shabby Fitness.
That was like that was you coming out. I feel.
Yeah, literally. That's why. Banging Olivia after.
Right, you just started. You like came on the scene strong. You went from like.
I literally went from here. I started lifting, and at the time, one of the baddest bitches around.
Olivia?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I loved Olivia's sophomore year,
and
bro. Or my freshman year, her sophomore year, I was like in love with her. I was like, oh, this cute sophomore girl's talking.
Like, you're dating Olivia? Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, that was me.
Shout out Olivia. She's dope. She's a friend now. She's a good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, but it's 75 to 80% of us that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
So only 25% of Muslims are like, yeah, I'm Muslim and it's awesome and it's great and I have Muslim friends and that's all I do and I go to the mosque. And if you think about it, do you know that from the age of 15 to 30 or 15 to 35 is like 60% of the Muslim population around the world?
Really?
We are the youngest population in the world, and that's what scares the hell out of Western politicians. That's why there's such a big attack on Muslims, because they're the fastest growing religion in the world. They're growing faster than the world's population at a faster rate, and they're the youngest population in the world. And there was actually, if you watch The Family on Netflix, one of the congressmen talks to. Do you know The Family on Netflix?
Family on Netflix.
So
No, I don't.
No, I don't really watch shows like
the
that.
families, you guys should definitely check it out. It's this documentary where a journalist.
Rami, yeah.
Yeah.
Rami.
No,
Great show.
Sorry, what are you
I
saying?
don't. We'll get into him in a second, but this
Yeah,
journalist.
he's like Rami.
No.
No. He's not like Rami.
No.
You're like Rami.
Me, I'm like Rami.
You're like Rami.
How?
Me and you are more like Rami, but you're Rami.
Rami's
Yeah.
more.
I just think about that scene of that girl in the car. It's like, choke me, and he's like,
Yeah,
I don't want to choke you.
Dude, that was the last.
She's like, I would choke her. That's what I'm saying.
You watch season 2?
Dude, I just didn't like it. I didn't like how he was presenting us, because the way he was kind of presenting us is, again, that Western culture is better, and him trying to, like, I don't know, it was...
No, but at the end, did you watch season 2?
No, I didn't get that.
Season
I'm
2?
a little ignorant of his show a little bit, but
Me
at first
too.
I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
Season 2, he comes with... It's like, comes back around in full faith and embraces.
I like it because
Like,
he's
he goes
doing
to-
what you're doing.
Remember with season 2, he starts going to the
Awareness.
mosque, and he meets this black imam, and he, like, teaches him the ropes. He teaches, like, yo, you're going to have to do this. It's funny when he's doing it, but he ends up dating the imam's daughter, getting married to her, and then cheating on her with his cousin.
With his cousin?
With his cousin who's in Egypt.
Oh my god.
You remember that?
Nah, dude, I didn't
So
get that
whack.
far.
Yeah, so he...
But I liked it.
He does his cousin,
For what I
and then
watched.
she finds out and she leaves the next morning, which is crazy. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that doesn't describe Muslim or Islam in any
Yeah.
type of way. But if you watch the show, it's like a...
Might be
The journey
culturally
is
accurate.
I shouldn't bash the show, because I too want to bring him on at some point in my...
You want to what?
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Rami Youssef is
His
his
name's
real name.
weird.
Yeah, that's
He's
ambition
Egyptian.
right there. That's
I
beautiful.
want to meet him so bad. He's the only person I can actually say I really want to meet. Him
Really?
and Playboy Cardi.
I really want... I don't know.
Dude, if I love Playboy Cardi, but I wouldn't even be that pressed to meet him. I feel like we would have a dumbass conversation.
No, I feel like-
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what's up?
No, I feel
What's
like
up?
he giggles hella. I feel like he's like a laughy kind of guy. I don't know. Like he's like...
Yeah, he is though.
Oh, well, let me go back to the family
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
real quick.
Yeah, my bad.
So...
Yo, I want
In
to
this,
be Playboy
the
Cardi.
journalist infiltrates the family, and they're located in Northern Virginia, right next to D.C.
Mhm.
And they're this Christian group, but they're not associated with any Christian denomination. They're like lovers of Jesus, and they're the most powerful underground community in the world, to a point where like Russian agents and Europeans and presidents would go up to Doug. I think it's like Doug Coe. Yeah. His name's Doug Coe, who's the president of the family. And they would go up to him and be like, hey, I heard you're the most powerful human being that no one knows. And he's like, no, dude, I'm just a friend. And you know that presidential dinner that they have, where the president brings...
I've seen pictures of it.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was one particular
There's a
one.
presidential dinner. It's actually the family who runs it. And it's basically the most powerful people in the world coming together and just making communications and talking about the future and where they want the world
And
to
Jeffrey
go.
Epstein.
And Jeffrey Epstein. But so Doug Coe, a congressman, comes to his house, and these congressmen are in love with him. He's basically like their leader.
Doug Coe?
Yeah.
Mhm.
These congressmen in D.C. just love him. These senators love him. And so they go up to him and they're like, Doug, what are we going to do about these Muslim babies? And obviously in that, he didn't answer them and say what, but I guarantee you he's like, we need to kill them off. You know, through the Syrian war, through Yemen, we need to give Saudi Arabia more weapons to like destroy Yemen. And they're really, that's one of the biggest things that's probably pushing why there's war in the Middle East, is because they really want to hinder the population of Muslims and Arabs around the world. It's really interesting stuff. But the family, yeah, you guys, it's a real thing, and they're Christian, they're Jesus loving.
It's a documentary?
Yeah, it's based off of a real journalist who infiltrated them, became part of the family, and watched how they just presidents and princes and politicians would just come over and have dinner and, Doug, what should I do? And as if he's like their god. It's very, very wild stuff.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on. In Afghanistan has never been colonized by any other nation. Any nation that has tried has been maliciously attacked. For example, the Russians invaded. Well, before, going back to like Mongolian time, who is it? What's his name? It's Genghis Khan, right?
Khan,
Yeah, like his whole, what is it, that little, not the trade, there was a pathway, there's a picture of a
Silk Road.
pathway, the Silk Road, I think, but it shows where he, like, all the places he literally traveled to with his army or something like that. But anyways, even when they went through Afghanistan, the only place that they could take over was the Hazara tribe. And they look like Mongols, like they look like Chinese Afghans, which is a very weird mixture, but they're pretty people. But yeah, Russians came in and attacked in the 1980s.
It destroyed Russia's economy.
Exactly. Like, the Russians were actually, like, I'm not trying to, like, make it sound funny, but the Afghans literally made them go back home crying, like, straight up. Like, they did.
Because it's your geography. Your mountainous region is
Exactly.
so difficult to. That's why America is even having trouble with the Taliban. Has nothing.
They got nothing on the Taliban, bro.
No, Taliban has nothing on American military, but because of the mountains, they can hide.
The caves
So
and
They know all the.
It's like when the
terrain,
British
you know?
came to America to try and take back control of it, but like we had the Native Americans and we knew the land and like how they would go line up in lines and like shoot out, and Americans would hide in bushes with their little shitty muskets and like snipe them.
It's the same thing as what was it, the Vietnam War?
Like when you're like a big power and like.
What happened?
Was it the Vietnam War? The one in the 70s? The one that we just got?
Yeah, where they were fucking us up. Yeah, because
it was jungle.
They knew the jungle. Yeah,
it was jungle. So, dude, the Taliban's one of the worst things, and that's why, like, back to when Bin Laden died. But when Bin Laden died, I
believe Bin Laden was a CIA agent.
He was.
Dude, did you guys see that video of him singing Katy Perry
That's
or something?
fake.
That was fake, right? I had to make sure.
I
I had to make sure, right?
Dude, he was okay. So, history of that. He wasn't necessarily a CIA agent, but when Russia and America, and they still do this. They do this in Syria too. Russia and America fight through countries.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is they're not going to fight each other straight up because they're two nuclear powers and they're afraid of each other. But what they'll do is Russia came into Afghanistan. Bin Laden was fighting the Russians. So the CIA secretly gave Bin Laden and his crew hella weapons.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, "Yo, like here you go and kill off these CIA."
That was a big thing. Like that was like low key
KGB.
knowledge. But what you said, that shit, that's exactly what
And then
happened.
what? Then they turned on America.
Yeah, I don't.
That's why America needs to stop fucking around
That's like
in the fucking Middle East, man.
that's like giving your op.
Israel.
That's like giving your op. My bad, bro.
There you go.
Whatever, bro.
What were you?
Whatever, bro. What?
I hate when you do that.
Just talk. Just
Keep
go.
talking.
But that's like giving your op, or giving your op your other op's information. You don't care. Like.
I don't get that at all. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm
the
lost.
opposition. So all right. So Russians and the America were their oppositions, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're ops. Yeah.
I thought you were saying like cops.
No.
Okay.
Ops,
Yeah, that's
the
what I was
opposition.
The opposition.
So Russia
that should
gives
be like a song. you know.
their ops, the Afghans, information on their bigger op, which is the U.S. You give your ops the information. Yeah, whatever.
You know what it's like? You guys ever play that? You ever play conquering games online? You ever even try it out, like even as a child, like play
Like
those
War?
games
Wars?
Like War?
Empire, like you build your own empire.
Yeah.
When
you see one lacking, they all harp on it. And like
well, no, they simulate reality. So as soon as you take over a country, or as soon as you cause war in a country, the first thing that happens is a rogue state emerges. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like these little rogue infidels come, or not infidels, I think. I don't know. But these rogue state emerges within the territory that you just conquered, and now you got to go fight them. That's what happens. Like when you cause a war somewhere.
Like ISIS is what you're saying?
Yeah, ISIS and the Taliban and all these really whack.
What is ISIS, yo?
Yo, so I'll tell you.
You guys want to get into that?
Yeah.
Like, what is
Sure.
ISIS even?
I forgot because it's been a while, but I did a bunch of research on it a while ago.
Did I cut you off?
No.
Oh, this is all correlated, right?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you saying?
Shit, now you just throwing me off. I was about to spit.
You forgot?
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
can
go
answer.
ahead. Go.
So ISIS, it's funny because a lot of the times you see that it's like these white European dudes in Europe having these situations where they're getting into the dark web and they're searching up things and they're watching ISIS videos, and ISIS really gets them in, and these European dudes are leaving their country and they're going to ISIS, and ISIS was trying to blow up Mecca. ISIS was blowing up mosques. ISIS, people don't understand, it's the most people that get killed by terrorist groups that are Islamic, quote unquote, are Muslims.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. And Americans
But-
are... Yeah.
What is nice about ISIS?
Whoa, okay.
Oh yeah, see, crazy that I said that, right? Because we're in America. It's all just frustration. America goes in these countries, manipulates the fuck out of them, strips them of all their shit, and leaves a bunch of frustrated civilians, uneducated people, whatever.
Unpopular opinion, but true.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to think about it that way, but America's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And we're very sneaky about it the whole time through.
They forced their...
Like,
their
ISIS
ways.
wouldn't happen if we didn't go in there and do this or that.
No, definitely.
It's a byproduct of our actions.
Yeah, and we're not saying that ISIS is
that
good,
makes
but,
it our responsibility and our fault.
Yeah, it is our fault, but ISIS is terrible. But
Oh
it is
yeah,
our fault.
exactly. It's our fault
yeah.
though.
Like the thing, just like you were saying, when you go into Iraq, and then you completely destroy Iraq, and not only do you destroy Iraq, but you barely kill any soldiers because Iraq barely has a military, and you kill 250,000 plus civilians, and you call it collateral damage. Killed 250,000 plus civilians in Iraq. And then not
You're
only
talking
that,
America, right?
American military. And then the American military, not only that, but it puts in their sons and husbands and brothers and sisters in jail, and then they allow the soldiers to force them to eat pork, to rape them, to torture them.
You basically just leave a bunch of pissed off Muslim civilians.
Right. And so not only that, and then Iraq, as the media is going to show their people that. Look at what America's doing to you. Look at the soldiers raping and murdering and killing you. Mm-hmm. Look at how many people of your own people have died when there's a supposed terrorist in a building. When you know how Middle Eastern countries are like third world countries, they're all apartment buildings. So if they suspect that there's a terrorist or someone that's anti-America in that one building, they blow up the entire thing. So everyone in there dies too. So it's it's so natural. It has nothing to do with Islam. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with ideology. It's any people that when you do that to them will hate you
retaliate
in one way or another. That's just how it is.